What's going on, guys? It's Groove, back again with another one from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And in today's video, we're going to be going over book 10 of his. But before we jump into these books, I like to give a little bit of a backstory if this is your first video. So Marcus Aurelius, so the meat and potatoes is he was a co-emperor of Rome from 140 AD up until 180 AD when he died. And the reason why I love reading about history and learning this stuff is a lot of people like to lump him into the same pile as people like Plato and Socrates and Zeno, but those guys, he idolized them. They all grew up 300-400 years before he was even alive. And he took those Stoic philosophies and applied them to his own life, and that's how he ruled Rome. And the people loved him for that. As he got into his old age, this is where these books come into play. He just started journaling, just different things he was thinking about at the time, and he never thought that these things were gonna, the public were gonna see these things. He never wrote these down for them to get published. They're just his journals, they're just his thoughts. And I really love this stuff because, again, this was not meant to be for the public. And his writings actually made it through. And we have them here with us today, 2,000 years later, and we can learn what he was thinking and just some of the different things that he was going through in his life at the end of it. And so here we are with these books. And so with these books, they're not in any order, if you will. Again, they're just him writing his thoughts down. And so I'm just going to go over some of these things. And some of them are kind of self-explanatory. And then others I'm going to expound more on. To my soul, will you ever be good, simple, and bear brighter than the body that covers you? Be satisfied with your present self, taking pleasure in all that is presently yours. Remember, you are born to bear all that your own judgment deems bearable, if you can represent it as a benefit or a duty. Now, I really like that passage because we all live in our own minds. And like he said, if you can see something as a benefit or a duty, your mind can change and it can make it a good. So let's just say you're at your job and there's two people and your boss says, hey, I have this new task I want you to do. One person can see that as a challenge and get excited to do that task, while the other person says, I've never done this before. I'm scared. I'm afraid. I don't want to mess it up. I don't know where to start. Again, it's the same task, the same situation, but people see it two different ways. One judges it as a challenge, the other one judges it as something bad and they don't want to do it. If you can learn to change your mind and look at everything as a challenge, your life just becomes one big win. No matter what situation you're in, if you're constantly looking at things as good or challenging or just something new to conquer, that mindset will take you way further than looking everything as a bad or a negative or just being miserable about every situation that you're in. Look at even the bad ones, even all the bad situations you go through, look at them as a lesson. What can we learn from this? How can we benefit from every situation that life throws us? Claim your entitlements to these: a clarity of mind for keeping attention to detail and vigorous thought, a cooperative mind, a willingness and acceptance of the universal nature, an independence mind for the elevation of thinking over troubled or calm affections of the flesh. If you keep yourself to these, you will be a new man and enter a new life. I like how he put the calm in there with that independence mind. Again, because of course, you want an independence mind when something goes bad, but even when something's going good, if you're winning at life, you never just want to fall off your high horse or just think everything's going to be okay. Always keep that independence mind. Always keep that, okay, I know I'm winning, but I got to get back to work. I got to stay on my grind. I got to stay on my hustle, because you never know when somebody's going to come take my spot. I really like how he put that in there. A slave running away from his master is a fugitive. Law is our master. Therefore, a lawbreaker is a fugitive. But also in the same way, pain, anger, and fear of past, present, and future events is also a governor of all things, and this is law. So to feel pain, fear, or anger is also to be a fugitive. I really like that passage, again, because most people are slaves to our emotions. With the universal law, if we are always riled up in our emotions, if we're always fearful of things, if we're always scared or in pain about, past situations or things that haven't even yet to come yet, we are a slave to our emotions, and you shouldn't be. You should try to stop being a slave to your emotions. Constantly reflect that all things that have happened before and will again happen in the future. This was a simple passage, but I don't know if I really agree with that today. Again, like you said, everything that's happened before is happening now and will happen in the future. But if you look outside, Everybody's hurting. Well, I'm pretty sure that happened back in the day too, but nobody's having relationships anymore. The human population is in a decline. I don't know, it just seems like outside a lot of things are changing, and you really can't just put that, again, in that passage that he talked about, like, oh, everything that's happening outside today will happen in the future. It's like, seems things really seem to be changing a lot right now. And I don't know if I agree with that, but at least wars are still a thing. Wars were, always happening during his time and before his time, and they're still happening today. We still haven't gotten over that part much. That kind of sucks, but And that's pretty much it for book 10. I really like this one. It was pretty short, but it was really a powerful chapter. Again, with him talking to his soul. Like, how many people don't talk to themselves today? You gotta get to know yourself better. And then when he talks about the entitlements of the mind and how you need to have an independence of mind and a clarity of mind. At the end of the day, we all are our minds. That's all we are. We're just our thoughts. And we go out into the world and we view the world with our own mind. Some people view it optimistically, others view it negatively. And if you can control your mind, if you can learn to refocus it and look at even all the bad situations as a challenge and something to overcome or a lesson to learn from, your life will just get a million times better compared to that person that just always sees negativity in every situation. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it for book 10. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.